Hello, welcome.
Continue.
Who?
There
What?
we go.
Continue recording. Things are recording into the cloud today. We'll see how that works.
Oh,
Welcome to Aural Hygiene. It is the podcast where we talk about educational films, experimental caught films, interesting documentaries. This is Matt here. In another chair and another place is Andrew. Hello, Andrew.
hello. I am indeed in another chair, in another place, in another time.
I guess some people probably podcast standing up. Somebody must do it.
Standing
Walking,
desk man. Yeah.
walking and podcasting. That would be cool. You walk down city streets like ranting into your phone, and that's your podcast.
You know, I used to do them. I had a recorder in my car, and I used to just record randomness into those.
Yeah, no, but if you do it on the street, you just have to get what was it? Was a sketch years ago where you'd hire the guy to just like walk us alongside you. It looks like he's talking to you.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh man. That was when those earbud phones first came out. People
Yeah,
just
yeah.
looked totally schizo out there.
We're gonna learn. We're gonna, dear child, we're going to learn about some technology today.
Yes, that's true. We have um what's it
Sorry,
called?
I didn't make it condescending enough. My child, we're going to no, it's a it's the kid's guide to the internet,
The Kid's Guide to the Internet. Yeah,
which
this is one
I
that I picked for you.
yeah, I think I originally wrote 1994 by it for some reason, but I think it's later than that. I think it's more like 98 or something. I don't think this one
Wow.
had a date attached.
Yeah, no, I don't think it did, but it's a long one. This thing's like about a 20-ish, right? 20 minutes or so.
It was like 27.
Yeah.
Ate up so much of my time, man. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the way it was using the internet, though, wasn't it? The early one, I mean, nothing was fast.
Right. True. At least see this was past like I think 94 would have still been like when they had that vector graphic stuff, like they couldn't actually put real photos on.
Hmm.
It would like
Yeah.
sketch out the vector graphics like on Prodigy.
Yeah. Now
Anybody
you were
remembers that?
using we were using Prodigy and God, what was that other one?
Old school AOL, which is all over this movie.
But there was something we used, I want to say in the 80s, CompuServe.
Oh yeah, yeah, CompuServe was something.
Yeah.
I think
I
that
just
was
seem
all
like
text.
it was, yeah, but it's I guess it's become so commonplace now. We're in the age of Wi-Fi that something like this would be not only interesting to people who didn't come up during the early days of the internet, but maybe don't remember it so
Right.
well. And it's all like, I don't know about you, but watching this was a real trip for me.
Yeah, yeah. Because all there is to the internet is the web email, which is really neat, and news groups. That's it.
Yeah. So it has a family, white people, the nuclear mom, dad, son and daughter who've just gotten the internet, and the kids are experts on it. And so, and this computer they've gotten sits in the middle of their house, like it's in the middle of the living room. Like it's just very, I don't know. And then they have a family, or no, a brother and sister over that are friends of theirs, and they don't have internet. So the conceit of this video is these guys are going to be like, what's the internet? What's a
Right.
download? What's a car? What is air? Who are you?
Oh, we just need to add when those kids, when the neighbors come in, the family is not, they don't just have the computer in the middle of the living room, but they're standing in a perfect square around it. No one goes to answer the door. They're just like, come in, as we
Oh, is
stand
it?
in a
It's
perfect
because,
square around
yeah,
the
it's because
computer.
it's a set. They weren't filming in a real house.
Yeah. There were several shots where you could see the top of the soundstage.
I saw that in your notes. I didn't notice.
Yeah,
That
just
just
like
shows you how.
there's the line at the top of the wall, and you could above that see blackness. So
That's
I
the void that they all go back to after they use the internet for their dark bidding.
that's right. A kid's guide to the dark net. That would be a cool film. But
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the way it was, though. I mean, we're sort of left to, there's a very thing about safety at the very tail end of this, where the
Right.
mom goes, now, after you've seen
Stepford
all
wife.
that, there's crazy. Yeah. Oh gosh. Hmm. She was a, I can use the internet for my recipes and my gardening tips.
I could use the internet for pornography.
I can choose from several rubber masks.
No, I do feel like the internet was a little more whitewashed at this point in time, though. It would have been hard to find. Like, I think the worst you'd find is like instructions on how to make a bomb.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, that's terrible. I'm just saying, like you'd really need to be looking for that, right?
Yeah, I want to say I usually tell people that I began using the internet like as a part of my regular life around 97.
I think I might have been a year earlier on that because we in my high school photography class we'd bump on over the little office around the across the hall that we had access to, and that had an early hookup.
Yeah, because other than that, I had a pen pal when I was about 13. I don't even know what service it was on, but you sent, and this was with the old dot matrix printer. I would print these out. You would just leave messages for people. There was no real-time chat. And it was a woman that was way older than me.
All right, but
we talked about Clive Barker.
Yeah, I remember talking to people about making a comic book. I think I did like really terrible art for a comic at some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have trusted that 12-year-old or 13-year-old or whatever it was at the time.
Yeah, no, but I seem to, when you're watching this video, do any of those like screens they show, because this is a whole guide of like everything, but do any of them, like, did you ever use any of these? Like they talk about Netscape being a browser and
I
an
remember
early
using
version of
Netscape.
Yahoo. Yeah.
Yeah, I used Netscape. There were a few things I sort of recognized, and then they'd like show you the web addresses of like everything they were flashing on the screen. That was kind of weird, but
Yeah, it was. So you could like visit them all and stuff. Like you're pausing this tape because there was no YouTube then. So I assume you'd be watching this on a videotape. You'd either be pausing it to write this stuff down, or if you're watching it at home, pause it and type it into your computer while you're there.
so we're already into the upper teenage years when the internet really like went into gear, right? So
We were, and we were the perfect age to be looking for pornography, as you said. We were the perfect age for to be actually searching for that. And at one point, the kid in this goes like, they're like, how did you figure out where this website is? And we just figured it out. Type in www, yeah, and type in whatever.
I guess they
'Cause this
don't
is-
have a proper search engine. This is like you have to know where you're going.
Well, there were several at that time. I don't know if you remember or not, but you'd go to a splash page, and there you would have Alta Vista and
Metacrawler. I remember Metacrawler.
Hotbot, web crawl. Yeah, there was like a big choice. It wasn't where it's just like Google is it,
But Google's not it now. I actually I have a different search engine running on my computer because in great part because when I look up the artwork for these podcasts, I can specify square, which I can't do with or I used to specify wide, or I can specify the shape, which Google does not let you do.
Ooh, well, I mean that's a good thing in a way, because who wants to have anyone have a monopoly over? At one point of time, it did become just AOL. I had MindSpring before AOL. Do you ever have MindSpring? That may have been an
Yes.
Atlanta thing.
Yeah, it was. We had the Mindspring, and piles, literal. I think you remember my house had literal piles of the AOL CDs sitting around.
Yeah,
basically because my mom did that as her job, but it's like because people joke that they used to have literal piles of those in their house, and we actually did.
Yeah. Well, there was a legit reason for that, but you'd get them in the mail, and you pop in your computers as it looked like a CD. No, you would get the floppies, I guess, before the CD, and it would just install
before the pornography.
and afterward the hard disk. You would so it was tied to your phone line, and so no one could use the phone while you're on the internet, and if anybody picked up the phone while you're on the internet, because it's also pre-smartphone, it would kick you off.
Yeah, my house they were at least sharp enough to get a second line before too long. So
Yeah, Yeah. No,
But I do
that's
remember, hey, free up the phone, but I need to print like 20 other extended movie analysis onto this dot matrix printer.
you would print off stuff from the internet and sit around and read it.
Yeah, yeah. From I think it was something on Project, just their movie database, which
Yeah,
was amazing at the time because it had all the trivia and the production stuff, and that stuff was hard to come by pre-internet. So it
that's
was.
true. That's true. Because now it's all there at the IMDb or Wikipedia.
I have reams of paper in my closet of books I printed just in case the civilization ends and I need something to read
Oh God, that's crazy. Well, who was
because I
your
usually
favorite
read on my
here?
Kindle.
That's true. Actually, that saves the clutter. Did you like the mom, dad? Well, dad was kind of absent for most of it, so it was mostly just the kids talking to each other, wasn't it?
Yeah, those kids sucked. What did I say? Okay, I have somewhere in here. I actually have a good line about that. The punchline to this movie was shot relay. Okay, that's fun. Here I said I'd like to pit this blonde kid into a death match with Zach Morris, and it
Now that's a
didn't.
Saved by the Bell reference, isn't it?
It is. That
Okay.
guy's not actually blonde, but he is in that show. So it's yeah, just the snarky like scheming prick vibe, you know.
Yeah, yeah. He kind of looked like my little brother did at that time. Who was a snarky prick. So it went along. But yeah, it's just pretty much like, you've got the kids that don't know anything, and the blondes are teaching the kids with dark hair everything.
Because those dark hair kids don't know anything. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
I
I didn't want to read into that too much, but it was just like, how often did you make jokes about the amount of porn online?
not so much. Like did that. I know the porn industry is always supposed to be like on the cutting edge of like distribution, right?
Yes.
So, but I, I feel like on the internet that didn't even really kick into full gear till the mid 2000s. Or maybe I
I
was just looking up the Smithsonian site. I don't know.
You may have been, because I seem to remember when I first had my apartment in Athens, I had a certain friend who later went on to work in the fetish industry and make a career there as a producer. Um, he was a buddy of mine from high school, and he was over and didn't have the internet at his house. And so,
So you taught him how to use the internet, like in this movie?
well, that's the thing. I didn't know that all these things were there, and he found them. But get this, he was just looking at pictures. There was no download video, there was no like stream video. um he was finding photos of, presumably, of nude women and stuff. And do you remember how long it would take these pictures to load on your screen?
I remember the first. Yeah, I do. But yeah, I remember 8 hours to get the Phantom Menace trailer or something.
I don't remember, but he's literally, he was still sitting there when I woke up the next morning. I don't know if he was waiting on the same picture to load that he was waiting on when I was, but I always thought it would be great for people to upload like a really gory bottom half. Like when it stops at the woman's waist, just be like, all torn asunder and like, innards hanging out.
That's
So
like the
guys would be like spanking it to the first top, and then they get to the bottom. Ah!
yeah, that could be fun. I see. Yeah, well, of course, these kids were looking at the Smithsonian and stuff, and I wrote, "Oh, I used to World Wide Web to look up pussy shit," which I meant to sound like like Johnny from Cobra Kai, but then I was like, "Oh,
Yes.
it sounds like I was looking for like German Scheisse porn."
You know what? That was actually what I thought you had done, because
No, I was,
there was a point where people, when it was possible to download video or to at least play video, there'd be in these message boards and stuff, people were literally trying to find the grossest videos they could and show them to each other. This
I
wasn't
know
like, murder, although we did have a site, I don't know if you remember, rotten.com, and you would see, like train crash pictures, like all this other yucky stuff. I'm sure it doesn't exist now.
See, I lived in a Disney movie of early internet. I remember like being impressed by the Flubber movie site.
What was it?
It was the first time I saw in the internet movie database where they had like, like customized it for a movie.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, now it's like whatever, that's nothing. But in
Yeah. Well,
1997, it was like, "Ooh, look at that."
yeah. God, you know what? I feel like I remember that and not the movie itself. It was
Yeah,
the Robin Williams Nutty
right.
Professor, or
Yeah,
what
it's
was it?
terrible. It was actually Flubber, which yeah, no,
Okay.
Professor. Man, I don't even remember. It's a crap movie. If you
The
want to see Robin Williams,
absent-minded
there's
professor.
yes,
The absent-minded.
there's other things to watch if you want to see Robin Williams.
Yeah, no, that's you've missed a few if that's where you are. Uh, yeah, no, I think yeah, back then we were yeah, I can clearly remember when that guy got internet at his house. I think they just like burned through an entire PC with the amount of porn that they then put on it. I mean, they were just like fiends about it. And you'd come over and literally, there's one part in this video, and I don't know if you remember this, they kind of make it sound, the parents kind of make it sound like now our whole family gathers in front of the computer. We don't do anything except the computer. And they're all like very happy about the fact that their kids no longer go anywhere except the computer.
Yeah, yeah. It's like they're all gonna give it 2 years, and they're just gonna be like 300 pounds and stuff. You know,
I mean, I don't know, but this it reminded me
give me back
seriously.
cheesy poof, that sort of stuff.
Mom, they these guys they yeah, they were you'd come over and they'd be like, first thing you'd go down and hit the computer and they would start showing you all this gross stuff they found. I mean, I can remember this one because I can't forget it, is they had some woman wearing like transparent vinyl underwear, and then she of course poops herself, and you just watch it all come out like it's like a Play-Doh toy thing or something like that. And I
Yeah, no,
just
thank
remember
you.
going like, is this like this is what you do, right? I mean, there was nothing, it was like beyond sexual. It was kind of, I
Like
don't
a
even,
experiment, like to see what would happen in a certain situation.
I don't really know, but I just remember, at a point there being, it's funny to see like the squeaky clean beginnings of where some of this stuff ended up,
Right.
in this video.
Well, like I said, you know that dad's coming at night and typing in butt hose.
See, it sounds like, see, in his notes it's Butthoes, but here I'm hearing you say it sounds like Butthose.
Oh, like the video, right? Okay. So
See for the butt pipes.
I like that the kid had to spell check Lisa.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, that was
Lisa,
bad.
how do you spell that? It's like, fuck you. At least that's an ethnic name, right? Because you're ethnic dark-haired people, right?
Oh my god, that was yeah, and there, at one point he shows how you can go to the White House website and write a letter to President Clinton.
They said nothing. They said literally nothing in that letter.
I
Just
presume they sent it.
yeah, it's like I mean they needed to like offer him a cigar or something. Then he would have responded.
Well, get a
um,
bomb in the mail.
I
Thanks
do like
for
where they say talking to a sitting president is like talking to a history book. It's like no, if you're talking to a sitting president, that's not a history book. That's now.
true. That's right now. He
It's
might have
right
been
now.
sitting when he talks to you. No, I think the overall thing for me with this video is that what they have is essentially not only one set, but one angle. And the entirety, for this 20-minute period, you've got them sitting on on the on either, you got the two kids that are visiting are standing, the two kids that own the computer are sitting, and this doesn't change the entire time. So this is how they hang out,
They had their
standing.
setup. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're standing desk people.
yeah, I guess so. But
They
they
would
literally they don't they don't change. So you just think, if this is a night of hanging out in the internet age, I mean they might as well be like frozen.
10 years later, that kid did his Aryan Nation podcast standing up, man, at a standing desk.
That's right. Aryan Nation. What's that?
That is sci-fi movie? No, you're hearing it wrong.
Is that is that the one where their heads have spots on them? No, but they are all white and bald.
Right.
I don't.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
what
No,
was the first thing you found when looking up your name on the internet the first time you did that?
first time I looked up my name on the internet, what did I find?
Yeah, that could be just last name, first name, whatever.
Um, I think I just was. I want. I think I may know where I was sitting when I did it, and I found the. I found this like some Scottish guy,
Oh, okay. I guess that
and then
makes
later I
sense.
would find the football player, the soccer guy.
Yeah. I
And then
think
of
for me,
course,
I think I was just looking last name, like I wasn't
yeah.
putting my first name in, and I got a Dr. Comegys who had a page, which I don't think is there anymore, unfortunately, where he had, he's an actual doctor and he had lots of x-ray shots of things that had been like stuck in people's butts.
No kidding, dude. You
And I think
asked
it
me
was
that question just to tell me that.
I did, of course, because I have a story.
That's a great story. You should have just said, the first time I looked up my name, because I'm here going like, yeah, it was nothing. You're like, well, I found X-ray butt man.
Right, right. Well, I you didn't want to follow that up with the soccer dude, right?
I didn't. Oh no, no, I looked up Dr. Jizz comma.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's gone now, which is disappointing. But I mean, and that one, it wasn't like anything like actually. It was all X-rays. It wasn't like actual like shots of anything, right? So
Sure, but you got to
quite
figure.
fascinating. It's a fascinating page. The butt page is fascinating.
Yeah, no, I would go look at that now. It's a it. Do you think he did it and figured no one would know,
I'm not sure.
or do you think he just had it there for ha-has?
I don't know. Maybe he's a master of proctology. Thing is, you can't look up butt page anymore and get that result.
I don't want to know what would attach itself to my browser if I did that.
Yeah. So exactly, I don't want to know what I'd get. Maybe I'd learn. If I type my name in that now, I'd probably like end up learning about like an extended relative, something I didn't want to know or something.
No, I think what I learned from watching this video was that the early times of the internet extremely boring. Like it wasn't a thing you wanted to spend a lot of time on. I don't think it was intended to do that. It seemed to be mostly for reference and for convenience and to be sort of a utility, but not necessarily somewhere where you could actually, you know, really do anything for leisure. And the idea of chatting with people, I don't think at this time anyone would have looked at this and thought someone would become addicted to that. Do you?
Yeah, not this point. Well, people did already in the '90s, but no.
That's true. That's
But
true.
that's when we very much have the stereotype of Cheeto Man, right? So,
Yeah, true.
I mean, still existing now, but that's when it's like, oh, the guy on the internet's Cheeto Man. Whereas now, we assume Cheeto Man's still on the internet, but so is everyone else, right?
Cheeto Man's always been the caretaker of the internet.
Yeah, I do like to like Yahoo gives you so many choices. To which I respond, yeah, and so does Infowars.
That was funny. No, I was kind of looking to see like who survives, like from all of that stuff, like which things actually stayed, you know? And
Yeah,
Yahoo was
that's
one of the things that has so far endured.
well, in a way, it's almost like it's a corpse, right? That's what they use now to just kind of test out, like I guess whatever. It's like a testing ground for media because nobody really hangs out on Yahoo.
No, did you ever do Yahoo Chat?
No, I do still
Man,
have. I actually do still have a Yahoo email, which is still the one attached to my Amazon accounts. But
yeah, I was gonna say all my like early like shopping stuff is attached to my Yahoo accounts. I had to move a lot of the stuff like YouTube and a lot of the really important things. I was like, get those away from there because one at one point a lot of Yahoo did like a big purge, and a lot of unused accounts or seldom used accounts just got torpedoed along with their GeoCities, their free websites.
yeah, the one my university email getting torpedo was the only one that really annoyed me because that was a good 6 years worth of emails, early emails that would be interesting to see now. But hell, I should have archived it. I guess we're smarter about that sort of thing now.
I mean, it's still people like to say the internet is really this this permanent space, but actually, what we found is it seems less permanent than it was. Like there's the Wayback Machine will still get you to old URLs and stuff for the most part.
Not your old email though.
Not your old email, but there's been other things that have come and gone that since that time, even since the time they torpedoed GeoCities, that have come and gone. They've just disappeared, and a lot of times things get changed. So I don't necessarily feel like it's. I don't feel like I feel like it's less permanent seeming than it was.
I'm getting a mail zone email. Something we have not mentioned here is that sick jam, of course.
I was hoping you would. There's a jingle that's sung by a couple of women who presumably also wrote it. I stuck around for the credits to see who's responsible for this nightmare song. It's just a really short thing, but it plays a lot. Like the movie's kind of divided up into little bite-sized segments, and man, that thing plays at the beginning and end of each one.
It's kind of like it's like the music, like the vocals are going forward and the music's like running backwards on like a Aeonian scale or something,
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of the Gilly theme song from Saturday Night Live. It was just that kind of thing where you hear it twice and you go like, uh-oh, this is gonna stick.
Yeah, so like I said, whenever you go surf on the internet, it's burned into your head now. You can't unhear it.
Yeah, did anyone tell you, hey, I was surfing yesterday? Like
probably around the late 90s.
Yeah, I had a coworker that was like, I was surfing last night and I found this. I'm going like, no, you weren't. You were not surfing. That's not how we say that.
It's still I think it's still in the vernacular though, isn't it?
I don't know if it is in the vernacular. I personally haven't heard it.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Net surfing. You're gonna be net surfing tonight, man.
I don't know. There's so many places where people are reading things. I don't feel like just saying, oh, I found this online. Like, you want to know where, don't you? I mean, like, where was it?
You want to know where I surf to, man. That's what you want to know.
Yeah, because if you read it on here, then
catch a wave, man.
Yeah, otherwise they'd be like, specifically, where did you find this story? InfoWars.
He's gonna eat your ass. Yeah. Ticketmaster. I was like, fuck them. Yeah, let Ticketmaster tongue your dumper.
At the beginning, that was kind of prescient because Charlie Watts then died like the day after I watched this. The dad buys Rolling Stone tickets and all the kids are going.
He killed them. Yeah, and from like 25 years in the past, he killed them now.
It was that song.
That's how unholy these people were.
Yeah. I really don't remember that about the Phantom Menace trailer. I remember buying a ticket to a movie I didn't want to see just so I could watch the Phantom Menace trailer.
Wow, that sounds so depressing now when you say it that way. No, I get it. I know. Like people.
Well, no, I'm saying it's still one of the greatest movie trailers ever made, I think.
Oh yeah, the trailer definitely had everyone
Phantom
ready to roll.
Trailer, incredible. Still, like even by today's standards, especially by today's standards.
So I don't know if I wanted to say find you on this thing on the internet, where would I surf to?
You would go to http go to gonzoriffic.com. That is where my friends and I have all our art that we make together in the cinematic form. Our latest movie out right now is called Areola Jones and the Home Video Vixens. You can also get their Bad Girl Dracula and Space Boobs in Space, Will Wheaton's favorite low-budget movie starring a bunch of burlesque dancers.
All righty, this one's Aural Hygiene. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, those insidious internet things that get you to stay on the internet forever.
Ever.
I've never been Twitter guy. I have to be bothered to make the post for these podcasts, to be perfectly honest. But I will respond to people if they say something. So
Yeah, sometimes it's the best way to get a hold of certain people. But no, I typically find Twitter, especially when it comes to film discussion, it's one of the worst places I've ever been.
I guess I really should give my web address on the World Wide Web, which is for music, www.rovingsagemedia.com. I left off the HTTP. Is that going to confuse people?
Oh God, it probably confuses people to say it.
// and then go back to what I said like 30 seconds prior.
We're typing the word /.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get online and find me some information about titty.
Titty. Go surfing on the titty net.